Good morning, children. So now I start from the point where I dropped yesterday. That was page number 45. Page number 45, and we have to start from there, right? And we have to start from this particular point. When Sadao informed him that the prisoner of war had escaped, then he then the general was absolutely surprised, shocked rather, because he had just undergone the gallbladder operation and he was unconscious for the last 1 week. And after 1 week, when he came to consciousness, he called the doctor, and the doctor gave him the information, informed him that the prisoner had escaped, though he had made him escape himself. Right? So now we can start from page number 45. Right? Yes, Excellency, he escaped. Sadao now said, he. Uh, there it is. Yes. He coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said, but was unwilling to disturb the general further. But the old man opened his eyes, said, that prisoner, he said with some energy. Did I not promise you that I would kill him for you? The general said, oh, doctor, I had promised you that I would kill him for you. I would set my private assassins and I will get him killed. So, why didn't you wait? And he said, oh, come to next page. Page number 46. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Excellency. You did. You did, Excellency. Yes, you did. Well, the old man said in a tone of amazement. So I did. But you see, I was suffering a good deal. The truth is that I thought of nothing but myself. In short, I forgot my promise to you. Now, somewhere the general admitted that it was his mistake that he could not set his private assassins. He had undergone the operation of gallbladder, and he considered it his mistake. Somewhere that was just due to self-absorption. Self-absorption means he was involved in himself, absorbed in himself. He was concentrated. He had a complete concentration on himself. Right? This was there. Now, move next. I wondered, Your Excellency, Sadao murmured. It was certainly very careless of me, the general said, rather admitted. But you understand, it was not lack of patriotism or dereliction of duty. One thing the general here wanted to clear. What? Though it was a careless act of mine, but don't take it otherwise that I had lack of patriotism or dereliction of duty. Means I never lacked patriotism. My devotion towards my country, I would say, are the best one. I have supreme quality of a patriot, right? And nor it was a case of dereliction of duty. What do you mean by dereliction of duty? Dereliction means neglect. Neglect means willful neglect of duty. I didn't do it. He looked anxiously at the doctor, and the matter should come to you. One thing he said. Oh, doctor, he looked anxiously at his doctor. Hey, doctor, if the matter should come out, you would understand that, wouldn't you? Now, what did he want to say? If matter comes to you, or if the matter is blown up, and people started asking whether the general was true. Please, you are to give evidence in favor of me. You are to speak in favor of me. It was not general's lack of patriotism. By chance it happened. He was unconscious. Oh, certainly, Your Excellency, Sadao said. He suddenly comprehended that the journal was in the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand was completely under his control, and that as a consequence, as a result, what he himself was perfectly safe. He himself was perfectly safe. I can swear. Then once he immediately said, "Oh, I can swear to your loyalty, Excellency." Means your loyalty, your sincerity to our nation. I can swear in the name of that, sir. I take pledge of that even. I would not disclose it. And to your zeal against the enemy. Zeal against the enemy, your enthusiasm against the enemy, I can swear it off. You can never be wrong, sir. Oh, you are a good man, doctor, the general murmured and closed his eyes. You will be rewarded. Oh God, a man now will be rewarded for making a prisoner of war escape. Oh, so unique it was. But Sadao, searching the spot of black in the twilighted in the evening sea, had his award. How did he get his award? What sort of award? Yes, there was no prick of light in the dusk. In the dusk, in the evening when the sun was setting, that time is called dusk. He never saw any prick of light, any ray of light. Means the prisoner of war had even boarded a Korean boat and he had left already. No one was on the island. His prisoner was gone, safe, doubtless, for he had warned him to wait only for the Korean fishing boat. Now he stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out to the sea from whence the young men had come the other night, thinking, and into his mind, although without reason, there came other white faces he had known. Who? The professor, whose house he had met Hannah. A dull man, and his wife had been a silly, talkative woman. he suddenly remembered those people he had met, white people I'm talking of, right? Silly, talkative woman. In spite of her wish to be kind, though she wanted to be kind, but no, she was quite talkative, and he remembered his old teacher of anatomy, who had been so insistent on mercy. What do you mean by this word, insistent? This is insistent. What do you mean by insistent? Yes, it means he was standing firm. It shows he was so firm. He was so firm on mercy with knife. Means he always recommended, when you have knife in your hand for operation purpose, you have to be kind. And then he remembered the face of fat and slatternly. Slatternly means untidy, dirty landlady. He had great difficulty in finding a place to live in America because he was a Japanese. You know why he didn't find? Because the Americans were full of prejudice. What do you mean by this word prejudice? Prejudice here stand for when a person is preoccupied, opinion. When a person has a preoccupied opinion about someone, then we call that he is prejudiced. Means a prior thinking about someone without even testing, right? Oh, that person would be just like that. वो तो ऐसा ही होगा. They were prejudiced. Americans were prejudiced about Japanese, that they are inferior, and it had been bitter to live in it. Bitter for a Japanese to live in America, knowing himself their superior. They considered themselves superior. How he had despised here stand for hatred, hate, hated. How he had hated the ignorant and dirty old woman who had last consented to house him in miserable home, in a miserable home. Means at least that woman had given him shelter, though he considered her wrong. Still, he had once tried to be grateful to her because she had, in his last year, nursed him. He still remember. He still remembers that face, the old lady. Why? Because once um, he was suffering from influenza, and that lady had nursed him. Nurse means took every care of him. How could he forget that face? He was laden with loads of gratitude of those Americans. How could he forget them? But it was difficult for, she was no less repulsive to him, angry faced, in her kindness also. Right now, he remembered the youthful, haggard face. Haggard means weak, poor, exhausted, weak, right? Poor face of the prisoner, white and repulsive. Oh, strange, he thought. Now I wonder I could not kill the person, I could not kill him. Why? Because he remembered all the gratitude, all the work that the Americans did for him. They made him a doctor actually. He was trained in America. He learned the feature of the virtue of sentimentality there in America. And then he realized why he could not. I think he had repaid the gratitude to the Americans in the form of saving the prisoner of war. Okay, so dear children, here the chapter finishes, and now we shall do the exercise questions of this particular chapter. Okay.